Hello, I'm Chris Sleight, the editor of International Construction magazine, and I'm here at the Bauma China exhibition in Shanghai. As ever, it's been an incredible show. There have been huge visitor numbers and a vast range of new equipment on display. So here in this short video are some of the new machines that have caught our eye over the course of the week.
This was by far the most successful Bauma China ever held. It's the 6th time the show has been held, and there was a 16% rise in visitor numbers from last time, with 180,000 people attending the show. There was also a 46% rise in the number of exhibitors to 2,718, and the amount of space occupied was up 30% to 300,000 square metres. In terms of new equipment, it's often the big machines that catch the eye, and a good example of this was on the Zoomlion stand, where the company exhibited a new 300-ton face shovel. Also on show was a 101-metre reach concrete placing boom, which is a world record. And the interesting thing about this machine is that some of the latter boom sections are made of carbon fibre to help reduce the weight. There was also a 2,000-ton capacity all-terrain crane on show with Zoomlion. But the biggest crane on show was Sany's 3,600-ton crawler crane, which was mounted on 4 enormous crawler tracks. The machine also features a dual lattice boom design, which is reminiscent of Liebherr's P-boom. Other heavy lift cranes at Bauma China included XCMG's XCL 800, which is an 800-ton capacity lattice boom mounted on a truck chassis with 8 axles. In terms of earth-moving equipment, a very interesting machine on XCMG stand was its 60-ton articulated dump truck. It's the first time XCMG has made such a machine, and this one was particularly interesting because of its drive system. Power comes from a traditional Cummins engine, but this is used to drive a stepless AC drive, which is unique in the ADT market. This kind of diesel-electric drive is normally only found on much bigger rigid haulers. The diesel-electric drive on the XCMG DAE60 offers independent control of the 6 wheel motors, and the company says that anywhere between 2 and 6 motors can be engaged at any time, depending on the operating conditions. Shantui, meanwhile, took the wraps off what it claims to be the largest dozer in China, the 105-ton SD90-5. So this is a machine in the CAT D11 size class. In fact, it's slightly heavier, so the only production dozer in the world larger is Komatsu's D575. Shantui's machine is powered by a 708 kilowatt engine, and it's equipped with a 45 metre cube capacity blade. Another striking thing about Bauma China was the number of new machines on show that are powered by liquefied natural gas, or LNG. I counted 5 Chinese manufacturers with such machines, and these were Chenggong, Lugong, Lovol, SDLG and XGMA. In fact, this was a trend that XGMA started at the last Bauma China in 2010, when it had an LNG-powered wheel loader on show. At this year's show, it took the wraps off a 21.5-ton tracked excavator, the XG822CNG. Both Lovol and Lugong's new LNG machines were wheel loaders with 191 kilowatt engines, while SDLG's machine was slightly lighter, an 18.4-ton wheel loader, the LG968N. And the interesting thing about this machine is that SDLG says it offers fuel savings of up to 40% over traditional diesel machines. For the international companies exhibiting at Bauma China, there's a big emphasis on producing machines that are designed specifically for the Chinese market. And increasingly that means designing the machines in region with local engineers with support from the head office. Sandvik Construction, for example, took the wraps off a new DTH crawler drill, the DH350. And this is the first time the company has designed and built a drill rig in China. It's designed to drill 3 to 5 inch holes, and it has a low operating weight of just 7.3 tons. Part of the weight saving comes from it not having an onboard compressor. And the idea behind this low operating weight is to make it easier to get onto difficult sites. In a similar vein, Volvo Construction Equipment took the wraps off the L105 wheel loader. That's a 4.5 metre cubed capacity machine, weighing in at about 18 tons. And again, that is being manufactured in China and has been developed specifically for the needs of Chinese customers. Volvo has designed it to be a reliable machine, but without some of the features that you'd find on a European spec wheel loader that, according to Volvo, Chinese customers are not necessarily prepared to pay for or don't see a value in. In the powered access sphere, there were some interesting launches as well. Genie, which is part of Terex, launched 2 models in a new SkySafe by Genie range, a 12-metre telescopic boom platform and a push-around electric scissor lift. Both models are designed and built at Terex's AWP factory in Changzhou and are targeted not only at China but the wider developing markets in Asia, Latin America and the Middle East. The V1200, which is the 12-metre telescopic boom lift, will cost around half the price of the equivalent Genie S40 self-propelled boom, while the scissor lift will be priced at around 30% of the cost of a conventional self-propelled scissor lift of the same time. With the lower price, of course, you get fewer features, and the V1200, for example, doesn't have a rotating turret. In a similar vein, JLG took the wraps off a new range of booms built at its Tianjin factory, again for developing markets in Asia, including China and India. It showed an 18-metre and a 24-metre boom with basic specifications and lighter weights than the equivalent 600 series and 800 series booms made in the US. JLG describes them as having basic specs. They have fixed axles, non-continuous 360-degree rotation and 230 kilogram cage capacity. They're not available with any jibs, but the weight reductions mean they're fitted with smaller engines than you would find on the equivalent US booms. And this trend for designing and building in China for the Chinese market is not just something that's seen in final machines, it's also something that components manufacturers are taking on board. Perkins, for example, used Bauma China to take the wraps off a new Tier 3 electronic engine, which was designed and built at its factory in Wuxi. The idea behind the engine is it has been developed to meet the future needs of developing markets such as Brazil, China and India that have or are about to adopt Tier 3 emissions regulations. Similarly, Dana, a drivetrain manufacturer, took the wraps off 3 transmissions in its new Spicer Rumar line, which are designed for use by Chinese OEMs. They include a power shift transmission for 5 to 6 ton wheel loaders, a transmission for 6 to 10 ton forklift trucks, and an axle for the concrete truck pump market. They've been designed and produced at the company's manufacturing facility in Wuxi, and they have a slightly shorter life than the Dana Spicer products that are made for Europe and North America, and also feature less automation.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick look at Bauma China 2012. The show's next held at the end of 2014, and we hope to see you there.